This is an in-between episode of Critical Analysis. Primordial is not with me right now. He will be joining me later. This is called Tales Doll, My Story. It was deleted from the Creepypasta Wiki, as are most of the ones that we read. It was moved to the Trollpasta Wiki. Link in the description if you want to read it yourself. After I got home from work, I thought I'd buy a game for my son. He was into the Mario, Sonic, and Donkey Kong type stuff, so I got him a game I don't think he's ever played. It was Sonic R. It was a racing game, as I heard, and at the time was pretty new. I raced home to give him the game and kissed my wife on the cheek. I held her, and she was happy for me giving him a present. The excitement filled his eyes, and I could tell he couldn't wait to play it. He went back to his room, and I was right behind him to play it with him. Alright, a little repetitive, but I will overlook it just this once. A couple of days passed, and he told me he was almost done with the game. I watched him beat the last boss, and he roared in excitement he beat it. You're missing that. That he beat it. I felt good for him, patted his head, and asked how was it. How it was. The peculiar thing was, as I did so, I looked at the credit screen and pointed and said, "What's that?" He said it was the Tails doll. I asked what the Tails doll was. He just said it was the Tails doll again. I obviously face-palmed. Why was it obvious? And ignored the scenery. I called for him to get in bed. As he was sleeping, the curiosity got the best of me. I went into his room, very quietly turned the volume down on the TV, and was ready to play some Sonic R. Knowing he already beat the game, I'm correcting it for him. I decided to play it again through watching him from earlier. Let me read that again. I decided to play it again through watching him from earlier. So you're playing it through watching him from earlier? Okay, I guess I'm going to have to get Primordial to read this with me at some point, because this is not making sense. I noticed you could play as Tails Doll. Knowing that was the main reason I wanted to play the game, I chose him to tag up with some of the gang. It was pretty fun, actually, until I tagged him up with Sonic. Right when I hit that button, my whole life changed. My life was in the palm of its hand. It was all calm at first, I must say. The screen shut off along with the game system. Did you turn it off? Or did it shut off itself? You're not elaborating. I let things be and went to bed with my wife. Okay, so we're just going to ignore that the screen shut off, and I don't know if you are the one that turned it off, so whatever. She grasped onto me as I did to her, falling in deep sleep. At around 2 a.m., I started hearing thumps on my door. Keeping it shut and knowing my son could get the game himself. Well, the game was still in his room. You just left it there. I just said, "Stop, go back to bed." The thumping kept happening. Okay. I got very annoyed and noticed as I got up that there was a little shadow coming from under my door. Nothing at all compared to a regular human-sized shadow. Sized, with a D. Proofreading. Proofreading is important. I kind of started freaking out. The word Tails kept popping up in my mind. I started to slowly open the door and heard these very faint words I will never forget again. So did you forget them before? What? I will never forget. Okay? That's all you need. You are coming with me forever. It was a doll. An evil, blood-covered, possessed little doll. It was from the game. It had to be. It looked just like it. I screamed, waking the whole house as it started clawing my toes. Just kick it. Blood was all over the floor, and to this day my feet ache and are sore. It was growling very aggressively as my screaming got louder. My wife called the police. Jesus. It scattered across the floor, running from me. Its screech was awful. It left a trail of my blood behind it. It said it has what it needs, knowing it can't finish its job tonight. Ever since that day, I am afraid to go to sleep at night. My sleeping patterns are scattered apart. I go to sleep at around 6 a.m. and wake up at around 8 p.m. to start my day. I know this may sound fake, but it isn't. I swear to this very day, I am shocked to even think about falling asleep at night time. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I just made you suffer through about 7 minutes of this. You're welcome. You can thank me later. Man, there are some talented people on this website, let me tell you.